Name ist Peter Müller, Kommandant des Tigerpanzers 237. Und ich war dort.
Amerikaner!
Oh mein Gott.
Gemeinsam sind wir stärker, vergessen Sie das nicht.
Mensch, Peter, was machen wir denn jetzt?
Mein Name ist Peter Müller, Kommandant des Tigerpanzers 237. Und ich war dort.
Amerikaner!
Oh mein Gott.
Gemeinsam sind wir stärker, vergessen Sie das nicht.
Mensch, Peter, was machen wir denn jetzt?
Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today I'm going to teach you how to be a good driver in Battlefield 5. Transport vehicles are a good starting place for anyone to get around the battlefield quickly. While it's true that many of these transport vehicles are equipped with mounted machine guns, their relatively weak armor makes them easy targets for anti-vehicle players or even tanks. Your best bet is to use them to get to the combat rather than using them in the combat. Speed is their main asset, and especially when used at the start of a game, you can use them to outflank your enemy or get to an objective first. Tanks, on the other hand, require a bit more skill to operate effectively than your average transport vehicle. You have to be in charge of both driving and gunning. Light tanks are fast and easy to maneuver. They can react to unexpected threats very quickly and escape from a bad situation when needed. Heavy tanks, on the other hand, are slow, sluggish, and require you to anticipate your enemies. They can take a lot more damage, but require a bit more planning and teamwork. Regardless of what tank you bring into the battlefield, as a driver you should always be aware of where your teammates are and push when you have infantry support. A solo tanker is an easy target for infantry or other tankers. Just make sure you're not afraid to get into the combat and action. Sometimes you'll be the motivating factor that inspires your infantry to push forward and back you up. Be aware that the enemy team can and will steal your vehicles. A stolen tank can be a devastating blow to your team. As a driver, if you get out of your tank to engage infantry or repair your tank from the outside, you are giving the enemy team an opportunity to potentially steal that vehicle. So be very aware of your surroundings before you ever get out of your tank. If your tank is badly damaged and you think it might explode soon, sometimes it's best just to go down with the ship. Abandoning your tank mid-combat again gives the enemy an opportunity to commandeer it and repair it back to full health. Many tanks do come with smoke launchers, so be sure to use that to help repair your tank or even escape from a bad situation. I hope this guide helps you get started with driving vehicles in Battlefield 5, and I'll see you on the battlefield. This is LevelCap, signing off.
Hello, this is Rogue Monkey Jr. from BF Nations, and today we're going to show you how to use melee weapons in Battlefield 5. Every now and then, when roaming the battlefield, you'll find yourself in situations where bringing out your trusty melee weapon will prove more useful than your lead dispensing friend. A good melee takedown helps you remain stealthy and avoids alerting nearby enemies of your presence. They are an important last resort when you've ran out of ammunition on your primary and secondary weapon, or when your weapons are simply not designed for close-range combat. Melee kills are also fatal, which means your opponent cannot be revived afterwards. With each successful melee kill, you also collect a dog tag of your victim, perfect for you trophy hunters out there. In order to select a melee weapon, open the Your Company section in the home menu. From there, choose the class you want to customize and select the melee category. The melee weapons available range from small knives all the way up to shovels and clubs. Smaller weapons like knives tend to have a larger takedown radius from behind, while the trade-off is dealing a smaller amount of damage. If you have a more aggressive playstyle, using clubs or blunt weapons such as the pickaxe or hatchet will prove useful to take enemies down. These particular weapons can also be used to destroy lighter fortifications such as wood and barbed wire. To execute a successful melee takedown, you need a plan of attack. You're more likely to get the kill by running up behind the enemy. Using your melee skill at the right time will trigger a takedown animation, killing your target in one hit. If you're approaching from the side, try to angle yourself towards the rear of the enemy for the same takedown animation. Frontal melee attacks are dangerous and you'll most likely have to dodge bullets to get close enough. Get creative. Since the melee attack is bound to a separate key than your primary attack, you can always throw a melee attack as a final blow after a gunfight. Another technique is to lead your pursuer into a building or confined space when you're being chased. You can then find cover behind a wall and go for the rear takedown as soon as they enter. Or, if you really want to spice things up, throw a smoke grenade into a crowd and wreak havoc with your blade. To summarize, be stealthy, pick your angles, and try to include the melee attack in your close quarters engagements. In our opinion, the shovel is a favorite among the melee weapons in Battlefield 5. It was featured in Battlefield 1, 2, and deals heavy damage from all sides. That's all. If you want more Battlefield guides and news, visit us at bfnations.com. Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, Level Cap here, and today I'm going to show you how to use the tank weapons effectively in Battlefield 5. When used properly, tanks can be some of the most powerful vehicles on the battlefield. They can break through enemy front lines, soften up well-fortified positions, and take out other armored vehicles. New in Battlefield 5 are fixed turn rates for tank turrets. This means that while you can look in one direction or the other direction very quickly, your turret will not instantly snap to where you're looking. It'll take a little while to catch up with your crosshair. Bigger tanks like the Tiger will have a slow turn rate, where small tanks can actually catch up to your crosshair relatively quickly. This means that especially in close quarters, some of the more cumbersome tanks will not be able to react to infantry threats as effectively. To balance for this, of course, tanks have devastating firepower and armor. Most tanks come with a primary and secondary weapon. You can switch between these at will, and the secondary is often a rapid-fire machine gun that can penetrate wood and sandbags. The primary cannon on most tanks has devastating splash damage to defeat enemies who are hiding around corners, destroy building walls and take out the enemy on the inside, destroy fortifications, and even blow up enemy armor. Some of them can be upgraded with higher power armor-piercing rounds that can actually give you the advantage in a tank-on-tank battle. Armor deflection and weak points are also something to keep in mind when engaging other tanks. Basically, if you shoot another tank directly in the rear, it's going to do maximum damage. If a tank is facing you but has angled their armor slightly, there's a good chance your shot may ricochet off of them, doing minimal damage. Many tanks can also be upgraded with secondary gunner positions, allowing your teammates to hop on and man a machine gun, guarding an angle that maybe you're unaware of. As you gain more experience and rank up your tanks, you'll have progression options to unlock new types of weapons. Think about your playstyle, what you run into a lot, and what you might want to experiment with, as these can greatly increase the strategic options you have available to you. New in Battlefield 5 is the attrition system, which means your tanks will spawn with limited ammo. So while you may be having fun raining death and destruction down upon your enemies, you will eventually have to resupply your tank. Resupply stations are located all around the map. Usually each capture point will have a buildable resupply station that you can use to repair your tank and resupply your ammo. When in doubt, you can always backtrack to your team's deployment, as they will have a resupply station there if you can't find one on the battlefield. I hope this guide helps you become more effective with tank weapons, and I'll see you on the battlefield. This is Level Cap, signing off.
Battlefield V, you'll fight through the unexplored settings of World War II, with maps that will challenge your squad in epic multiplayer experiences. Armada is the largest of the Battlefield V maps available at launch. You'll engage in combat inspired by some of the biggest tank battles in human history, and seek to control the steep canyons and narrow bridges of this desert map. Aerodrome is set in a ruined Axis airfield in the aftermath of a recent Allied bombardment. Its central hangar is where both infantry and vehicles will come together, and is a key strategic point that can be heavily fortified and defended. A flooded marshland dominated by a monumental, partly destroyed steel bridge. Twisted Steel features the biggest structure ever created for a Battlefield game, and poses always evolving challenges for squads trying to defend or attack. Away from the bridge, tanks cut across the marshlands, and planes pose constant danger from the sky. In Arras, tanks roam the fields, while infantry look for cover in the extended trench lines and stalk the enemy through scattered woods. The small town center will be the most contested area, with the church providing sightlines of the entire map. Full-scale urban combat awaits you among the streets and canals of Rotterdam. Pilot tanks on the main roads, hold the train tracks against incoming enemies, and watch the windows of the tall Witte House building for enemy snipers. In Devastation, you will need to adapt to a landscape of ruin in the aftermath of fighting in Rotterdam. On this tight, infantry-focused map, flush out enemies from the multi-story library and command the terrain around the destroyed medieval church. Inspired by the invasion of Narvik in 1940, on this map, you'll fight for control of the harbor town. There are close encounters around the ruined residential buildings, but space opens up for your squad in the industrial area. Battle above the Arctic Circle in Fjell 652. Infantry and planes clash against each other on the top of this rugged peak, creating a combat dynamic new to Battlefield. Seize key points like mountain cabins and AA guns in this majestic but hostile environment, complete with extreme dynamic weather. Coming post-launch in Tides of War Chapter 1, Panzerstorm is set in the Belgian countryside, inspired by the first major tank battle of the Second World War. A massive force of armor is creating a wave of destruction, and infantry will have These locations are just the beginning. After launch, we'll continue to evolve and expand the battlefield with new ways to play, taking all players on a journey across the immense scope of World War II. Battlefield will never be the same.
In this video, we're going to focus on how to get more ammo in Battlefield V. Battlefield V has been constantly striving to make a game that is more immersive for everyone. With the new scarcity element in play, you start your rounds off with a limited amount of ammo. That, my friend, is the exact reason why it's imperative to make sure you are running a support in your squad. They're well equipped with ammo pouches and ammo crates depending on their level to better help their allies. If you're in a plane or vehicle, keep an eye out for these ammo icons. All you have to do is pass through and you reload to full ammunition. To keep resupply stations safe for your vehicles, make sure you get out and build some fortifications. With munitions being so limited, make it a point to conserve your ammo. How do you do this? Make sure you're cycling through all of your weapons and being selective about the shots you take. Think about getting a little creative with how you like to kill your enemies. In the end, there's always more than one way to skin a cat. No ally in sight and in need of ammunition? Don't forget to loot the bodies of fallen soldiers. All you have to do is run over them and the ammunition is automatically collected. There will be times when you go to resupply yourself only to show up and your station's no longer there. So what do? Pull out your tools and start building. It's Battlefield. Sometimes supply stations get destroyed in all of the chaos. Take a moment to think beyond just rebuilding resupply depots and stations. From a long game perspective, you're going to want them to stand as long as possible. And lastly, if you're really hurting for ammunition, go ahead and call in a supply drop. Keep it covered and make sure you're not the last one there. Today we're going to talk about how to play the Assault class for Battlefield 5. The Assault class leads from the front lines with their guns blazing, offering the best balance of offense and defense in most situations. With various weapon loadouts in Battlefield 5, the STG-44 has to be my favorite. This baby's got high accuracy when paired with a medium scope that makes mowing down enemies at long ranges a breeze. Another tool in your arsenal is the sticky dynamite. It's not only great for taking out tanks, but it's also the perfect tool for a surprise attack against another player. Watch out, Westy. If you want to come out on top and be number one, you cannot approach these squad situations as a lone wolf. Now my teammates, one of them is down, they're healing, so I'm going to make sure that they don't get flanked. Situational awareness is key. I call that flank, but I did not expect them all to come at once. All I have to do is call for help. Death squad, assemble! We must kill Westy. He and his team are on my body. Kill them all. Kill. Then my minions do my bidding, raining death down from the sky. Let this drive in how important communication is. If I wasn't communicating with my team, I would not be getting revived right now and I'd have to respawn. It's the key to winning. Before jumping into war, let's take a look at combat rules. These are perks that help you during battle. You're going to have access to two different traits, Light Infantry and Tank Buster. Light infantry perks allow you to find more ammo on defeated enemies and fallen comrades. You also have the ability to regenerate a higher amount of health than other combat roles. The second assault combat role, Tank Buster, comes equipped with two traits designed to even the odds against enemy vehicles. The first part of this perk allows any vehicles you damage to be spotted by your entire team. This is perfect for an assault rush. Everybody comes together and just explodes the thing. Or if you have someone piloting up in the air, this clear spot gives them the perfect location to drop a bomb and wipe out the enemy. As you rank up, don't forget to check for unlockables so you can see all the different ways you can bring chaos to the battlefield.
This video is sponsored by EA. Fortifications in Battlefield 5 are more than just a gimmick. These buildable objects allow players to actively shape their environment and support their team. Ranging from razor wire to trenches, fortifications allow every player to impact the battlefield without even firing a shot. Tank traps can stop an enemy offensive cold, and sandbags provide extra cover to your teammates. Although Battlefield 5's deep destruction system means you can just about obliterate every building on an objective, fortifications allow you to turn damaged buildings into imposing strongpoints. To build fortifications in Battlefield 5, equip your build tool and take a good look at your surroundings. Buildable fortifications appear as outlines, which tell you the type of fortification you're able to build at that location. More complex fortifications take longer to build, so make sure to find some cover before setting to work. If you're having trouble locating fortifications to build, you can also find fortifications on the minimap, where they appear in light gray. If you take defending your gains seriously in Battlefield 5, no class does it better than the support class. This class can build fortifications faster than anyone else. Plus, they can build special fortifications like machine gun nests and bridges. This focus on building fortifications goes hand in hand with the support class's focus on light and medium machine guns, since most fortifications can be used to steady a bipod. Fortifications also play an important role in supporting your team. With the attrition system in Battlefield 5, players spawn with limited ammunition and a single health pouch. A key aspect of the fortification system is the ability to build resupply and medic stations. These are scattered throughout the maps, so learn their locations, build them, and support your team. A word of caution, however: exercise restraint when building fortifications. Only construct those that will benefit your team. You don't want to accidentally help out the enemy. If you need to destroy a fortification, machine guns are effective on sandbags and walls, while explosives will break through even the toughest defenses. For more Battlefield 5 videos, visit youtube.com/FlakFireGaming. And as always, thanks for watching.
Playing as a squad has always been a part of Battlefield titles, but here in Battlefield 5, it's more important than ever that you do so. In this video, I'm going to give you some hints and some pointers on how to become a more effective squad player and to be part of a killer squad. Your squad is important to you, and you are important to your squad. There is increased visibility of squad mates from the moment you start a multiplayer match. The green highlighted soldiers are the ones you're looking for, and with that increased visibility comes increased reliance. Your soldier, the class you've selected, and the combat role that you have active within that class will likely offer another player in your squad something that they need, especially when playing as medic or support. Now, it's important you understand the roles each of the soldiers in your squad is using and how to extract what you need from them, as well as knowing your own role. But arguably, the most important role in the squad is the squad leader. The squad looks to the leader to direct them in battle. It's their job to mark out objectives, to attack or defend. They can use the area spotting tool to call out dangers, and it's their responsibility to call in reinforcements using requisition points that you've all built up together. Now, these points are visible next to the squad leader's name down by the minimap, and the squad leader has on hand lots of different tools that they can call in for a certain amount of requisition points. To get those points, simply play as a squad, taking out enemies, healing one another, handing out ammo, reviving one another, playing the objective, and even more. Reinforcements can be extremely powerful and effective when deployed at the right time. Now, you'll need to make sure that you have a good mix of classes within your squad. This will make sure you're all able to take advantage of each other's gadgets, weapons, and class abilities. For example, I'd say it's almost necessary for a squad to have a medic soldier in it. That way, they can toss out the heals after a gunfight, and they can provide fast revives to the rest of the squad. It's important to make sure you have enough ammo as well, so a support soldier is advisable. Getting ammo from their pouches or crates will keep you topped off and not left wanting when you come across an enemy team. Depending on the map, a recon soldier might be a good option as well. This class possesses a lot of gadgets that aid in informing the rest of your squad what's actually happening on the battlefield. Their spotting scope 3D spots enemies, their flare gun spots enemies on the minimap, and their powerful rifles will help you take down enemies from a distance. And I'd say there's always room for an assault soldier. These are the demolition soldiers on the battlefield carrying heavy explosives to destroy cover and weaken enemy armor. Having a good mix of these four classes will ensure your entire squad is well equipped as a unit to take on the enemy team. However, playing the objective is the most important part of squad play. As a group of four, you hold far more power than one soldier standing alone. Game mode objectives are shown at the top of the screen. Blue icons denote held objectives, red ones denote objectives to attack. Play each class to their strengths and use the comma rows or in-game comms to make sure everyone knows what's happening. If you go down and you can't be revived by a medic or be gotten back up with a buddy revive, there's a chance that your squad is still alive and can be spawned back in on. So rather than needing to go all the way back to the deploy screen, use the squad deploy screen to get right back into the action. Your squad is kind of like your family in Battlefield 5, with reinforcements being a direct reward for positive squad play. Working together really does have its benefits. Thanks very much for watching. My name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys on the battlefield. Healing and reviving your team and squad mates is a really important part of playing Battlefield games. In Battlefield 5, things have changed slightly from previous titles in the franchise, and it's worth learning and remembering how things work this time around. In Battlefield 5, you will only automatically regenerate a limited amount of health if you take damage. It's then up to you to seek out forms of active health regeneration. This creates more thoughtful gameplay on your part, needing to assess the current situation more carefully, and on your squad's part as well, who might be able to offer you the healing materials that you need. Also in Battlefield 5, all squad mates can now revive each other with the brand new Buddy Revive mechanic. I'll explain this in more detail in a second. The limited automatic health regeneration will get you to a non-critical state after taking damage. It does take a while for it to kick in as well, longer than it did in previous titles in the franchise. The emphasis has shifted towards seeking out medical supplies, rather than letting the game do the work for you. However, there are ways to regenerate more health automatically. Play as the light infantry combat role in the assault class, and you'll reach a higher health level before the regeneration hits its maximum. With more active health regeneration in mind, however, here are some of the ways that you can heal yourself back to 100 health in Battlefield 5. You can apply a bandage pouch to your soldier, you can seek out a medical crate and interact with it to start healing, or use your minimap to find the nearest medical resupply station, and you can interact with that as well to start healing up. Whenever you spawn in, you will have a bandage pouch on your soldier already, so if you take damage, hit the apply key, which is denoted next to your health bar at the bottom of the screen, to start healing up. You can resupply this bandage pouch from a medic throwing you one, or picking one up from a medical crate or a medical resupply station. And if you're lucky, your squad leader might have called in a supply drop at some point. That can be used to get back medical supplies as well. If you're stuck for any of those options, use the comma rows to call out for medical supplies. When it comes to reviving, there is now another option available to you, the Buddy Revive. This joins the standard Medic Revive, which has been present in lots of other Battlefield titles, but the Buddy Revive allows any player to revive their fellow squad mates. If a squad mate of yours is down, head over to them and hit the button shown in the prompt on the screen to start that Buddy Revive. Now, the time it takes to bring another player back up into the fight using a Buddy Revive is longer than a standard Medic Revive, but now if a medic is too far away, you can still get your squad mate back to their feet. Both of these revive options are quite physical. It's important to clear the area of enemies first before you attempt that revive. If you're playing as a medic, you'll always perform medic revives, but you'll also have the further option to revive teammates outside of your squad. If you're going to attempt any type of revive, use the spotting button to mark downed friendly players and let them know that you're on your way over to try and help them. They'll see this spot on their screen and they might be able to hold on rather than skipping the revive opportunity. However, as important as it is to try and stay alive and help your squad, sometimes a better option might be to bleed out and rejoin the fight in a different location. The down but not out screen presents you with this option alongside a call for help. If medics or squad mates are nearby, use the call for help. If no one is nearby, skip the revive and get yourself back to the deploy screen where you can make a choice about where you want to spawn. Compared to previous titles, there are more options available to you in Battlefield 5 when it comes to healing and reviving. So in the moment, you can adapt and work with your squad to make sure everybody is ready for the next gunfight. Thanks very much for watching. My name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys on the battlefield.
This video is sponsored by EA. Customizing your vehicle in Battlefield 5 is one of the most rewarding aspects of the game. Players will be able to customize their vehicle's appearance shortly after launch, but players can specialize their vehicle's abilities right out of the gate. With vehicle specialization, players can change the way their tank, airplane, or other vehicle behaves. Each vehicle has an unlock and progression tree. The more you utilize a vehicle in Battlefield 5, the more abilities you can unlock. These abilities are unlocked with company coin, which is only earned through playing Battlefield 5. With the progression tree, players often need to pick between two different improvements. Choose carefully, as these often have positive and negative impacts on the way your vehicle performs. Make sure to use the progression tree to unlock and select traits that cater to your playstyle. Looking at the Panzer IV in Battlefield 5, there are two clear specialization tracks. The one on the left improves its ability to combat enemy armor, while the one on the right increases its lethality against infantry. The anti-armor path includes abilities like armored skirts, an upgraded gun, and armor-piercing ammunition. The anti-infantry side of the progression tree includes a flare launcher to spot nearby enemies, faster turret rotation speed, and even a mine launcher. The latter can be used to protect the vehicle against infantry, but it's also perfect for defending objectives. Regardless of how you choose to progress your vehicle in Battlefield 5, if you make a mistake or want to start from scratch, you can always reset your airplane or tank with the respec feature. For more Battlefield 5 videos, visit youtube.com/flakfiregaming. And as always, thanks for watching.
Hey guys, Level Cap here, and today I'm going to show you how to customize and specialize your weapons in Battlefield 5. It's important to understand that customization in Battlefield only affects your weapon's visual appearance, where specialization is what changes its in-game performance. Let's start off by taking a look at the customization system. Weapon skins can be earned by leveling up weapons, buying them with in-game currency, or buying them with real-world money. And some skins can only be obtained by completing high-level mastery assignments. Up to 5 different parts of your weapon can be fully customized, from muzzles to magazines, stocks, barrels, grips, and optics. Once you unlock a new skin from your Armory tab, you can then apply it from the Company tab on the main menu. You can also customize your gun once you're in game. For example, if you end up joining a desert map, you can switch to a desert camo to better blend into your surroundings. Some skins can drastically change the look of your gun with added leaves and accessories. Once again though, customization only affects the look of your weapon. If you want to upgrade your performance, that can be done through the weapon specialization system, which is also located in your Company tab through the main menu. Weapons can be specialized by both achieving experience with them and spending in-game currency. Once you start to rank up a weapon, you'll be able to start specializing its progression tree. Each tier of the tree will give you multiple options to choose from, but you can only pick one option per tier, so make sure you read the descriptions when choosing your path. Some upgrades can make you more accurate at range, while others make you quicker on the draw. If you later decide that you would like to try a different upgrade path, you can hit the reset button located here to respec your weapon. This can only be done from the main menu though, so be sure to specialize your weapon before joining a game. Specializations are powerful tools that will allow you to change your weapon's performance to be more in line with your personal playstyle. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you on the battlefield. This is Level Cap, signing off. Hey guys, Level Cap here, and today I'm going to show you how to play the support class to its full potential. Supports are responsible for rearming their teammates, building cover and stationary weapons, repairing vehicles, and even laying traps for vehicles and infantry. Without active support players, your team will quickly run out of ammo. So a good support player should be near the firefights, making sure you have the firepower to keep up the attack or maintain the defense. As a support, you get access to 3 different weapon classes: light machine guns, medium machine guns, and shotguns. Your starting weapon is the KE-7, a light machine gun that's perfect for running and gunning, but also laying down accurate fire with its built-in bipod. This weapon is highly versatile and can be further specialized through the progression system. When it comes to your gadgets, you'll start with an ammo pouch that when thrown to teammates will resupply their primary and secondary weapon ammo. You'll also get an AT mine that can be used to destroy enemy vehicles when they drive over it. These can be placed passively to block off commonly traveled paths, or used more aggressively by placing them directly in front of a tank mid-combat. As you play with the support class, it will level up and allow you to unlock new weapons and gadgets. Later, you can get an ammo crate that can distribute ammo faster, but players have to manually interact with it. This can be useful in defensive locations, as it allows you to focus more on the firefight at hand instead of constantly resupplying people. You can also unlock an AP mine for damaging infantry in place of your AT mine. This will give you some better options on maps with fewer vehicle threats. And finally, you can also unlock an AT grenade pistol that'll give you a small but powerful rifle-fire grenade that can instantly kill infantry, destroy their fortifications, and even lightly damage vehicles. Weapon-wise, the support has a lot of options to play around with. Medium machine guns are designed more with defensive playstyles in mind, as they cannot aim down sights unless they're bipoded. So their accuracy is not particularly good when running and gunning, but from a bipoded position, few other weapons can match their firepower and accuracy. Shotguns are intended for close-range combat and allow for maximum speed and damage in a skilled player's hands. One-shot kills are the name of the game here, but you have to be able to close the distance to your enemy. They're definitely not the weapon of choice if you plan to run across an open field or engage in a long-range firefight. However, the M30 drilling does have a secondary fire mode with a rifle round when you need to engage at longer ranges. Supports have two combat roles available. Engineer, which is equipped by default, allows you to build fortifications and repair vehicles faster. It also makes auxiliary weapons take longer to overheat, so this is excellent when gunning for a tank or using stationary machine guns. The second combat role is Machine Gunner, which is unlocked at Support Rank 6. This allows you to suppress your enemies faster, and once your opponents are fully suppressed, they will also become spotted for you and your teammates. This role is more focused on infantry support and allows you to help even if you're not necessarily getting a ton of kills. Constructing fortifications is a new feature in Battlefield 5, and support does it better than any other class. Pressing down on the D-pad or T on PC will equip your build tool and allow you to construct fortifications around the map, or even repair previously destroyed areas. And if you look closely, you'll actually notice that the minimap shows construction areas around you highlighted in white. Support has more building options than other classes and can build things like tank traps and machine gun emplacements. Just make sure to watch your step when you're building a bridge. The support class is both vital to defense and offense. Your team will grind to a halt if you're not doing your job properly, so be sure to distribute ammo constantly, but don't be afraid to engage in combat as you have many powerful weapons. Be sure to test out all of your weapon classes and gadgets, as a good support player will switch between them depending on what the situation calls for. I'll see you guys on the battlefield. This is Level Cap, signing off.
This video is sponsored by EA. The Recon class in Battlefield 5 is perfect for patient players and those seeking high risk versus reward combat. Equipped with bolt action and self-loading rifles, the Recon class has the ability to reach out and touch even the furthest enemy players on the battlefield. Sniping in Battlefield 5 rewards skilled players who can land that critical shot under pressure. Despite their limited rate of fire, many Recon weapons are one-hit kill with a headshot. In close quarters, the Recon is at a disadvantage, so if you're running into the fray, switch to your sidearm. It provides rapid fire for close encounters. All new Recon players start with the bolt-action Lee Enfield rifle, P38 pistol, spotting scope, and the S-mine. The spotting scope tags enemies on the move, while the S-mine is a great tool for setting traps or protecting your SIGs. The more you play in Battlefield 5, the more you'll unlock. The Recon class has several cool weapons like the straight pull Gewehr M95-30 and the semi-automatic ZH-29. There are 2 combat roles for the Recon class, and each has unique traits. The Sniper combat role is available to all players immediately. This combat role's traits include Steady Hands, which lets players steady their rifle when aiming down the sight for a longer duration, and Expert Marksman, which partially replenishes your steady duration for each headshot kill. The Pathfinder combat role can be unlocked as you play the Recon class and includes the Advanced Scouting and Vanguard traits. With Advanced Scouting, you can spawn unfriendly squad leaders and spawn beacons outside of your own squad. Vanguard provides additional requisition points for when someone spawns on your spawn beacon, a bonus particularly useful if you're the squad leader. Battlefield 5's Recon class can also support their team from a distance, spotting enemies and keeping hostile snipers at bay. Their ability to harm vehicles is limited, but they can target exposed gunners to help teammates make quick work of enemy tanks and transports. So the next time you're on the battlefield and need that pinpoint fire support, back up your team with the Recon class. For more Battlefield 5 videos, visit youtube.com/FlagFireGaming. Thanks for watching.
Name ist Peter Müller, Kommandant des Tigerpanzers 237. Und ich war dort.
Oh mein Gott.
Gemeinsam sind wir stärker, vergessen Sie das nicht.
Mensch, Peter, was machen wir denn jetzt?
Hey guys, Level Cap here, and today I'm going to teach you how to be a good driver in Battlefield 5. Transport vehicles are a good starting place for anyone to get around the battlefield quickly. While it's true that many of these transport vehicles are equipped with mounted machine guns, their relatively weak armor makes them easy targets for anti-vehicle players or even tanks. Your best bet is to use them to get to the combat rather than using them in the combat. Speed is their main asset, and especially when used at the start of a game, you can use them to outflank your enemy or get to an objective first. Tanks, on the other hand, require a bit more skill to operate effectively than your average transport vehicle. You have to be in charge of both driving and gunning. Light tanks are fast and easy to maneuver. They can react to unexpected threats very quickly and escape from a bad situation when needed. Heavy tanks, on the other hand, are slow, sluggish, and require you to anticipate your enemies. They can take a lot more damage, but require a bit more planning and teamwork. Regardless of what tank you bring into the battlefield, as a driver you should always be aware of where your teammates are and push when you have infantry support. A solo tanker is an easy target for infantry or other tankers. Just make sure you're not afraid to get into the combat and action. Sometimes you'll be the motivating factor that inspires your infantry to push forward and back you up. Be aware that the enemy team can and will steal your vehicles. A stolen tank can be a devastating blow to your team. As a driver, if you get out of your tank to engage infantry or repair your tank from the outside, you are giving the enemy team an opportunity to potentially steal that vehicle. So be very aware of your surroundings before you ever get out of your tank. If your tank is badly damaged and you think it might explode soon, sometimes it's best just to go down with the ship. Abandoning your tank mid-combat again gives the enemy an opportunity to commandeer it and repair it back to full health. Many tanks do come with smoke launchers, so be sure to use that to help repair your tank or even escape from a bad situation. I hope this guide helps you get started with driving vehicles in Battlefield 5, and I'll see you on the battlefield. This is Level Cap, signing off.
Mein Name ist Peter Müller, Kommandant des Tigerpanzers 237. Und ich war dort.
Oh mein Gott.
Gemeinsam sind wir stärker, vergessen Sie das nicht.
Mensch, Peter, was machen wir denn jetzt?